Hello everyone, I am Gabriel and this is the Rise of Atlantis show, and everything has just been changed. Everything seems so different because now broadcasting the show is not live anymore, because 4 days ago I talked about a topic I did not know was controversial. I had to do dealing with certain actors, so now I know to avoid controversial topics now. I think it's because I was revealing people's names that were classified as supposed people like this topic mentioned, and I didn't think about it at first. So okay, so I agree with YouTube. Okay, so I really don't care if the video doesn't come back up. But my live streaming has been disabled, and I believe it said for 3 months. So good news is, hopefully I can have live stream back up in 3 months from now. So let this be a tip to everyone out there, to all YouTubers, is avoid controversial topics, because they will remove your live streaming for 3 months. And glad they didn't ban my channel. God bless the people at YouTube. I just wish we would be allowed to talk about these topics, because I didn't threaten anyone, and 2, I even said in the video that all this could be fake news for everyone to do their own research. So I guess it's because I had talked about the people's names. I think that's what it was. I had talked about the people's names. So now I know to avoid all controversial topics. So, it sucks having my live stream disabled, because I wanted to have it live, because when the apparitions start appearing, I want everyone to know that it's not hoaxed. It is, that I'm not hoaxing it. By them seeing it live, they can see that I'm really, bringing down these apparitions from God live. So I had hoped for that. So good news is, and hopefully about 3 months I can have live streaming back up. So I'm also gonna stop summoning apparitions in my backyard. I may do it later on, but for now I did it a whole week straight, 7 days straight, and nothing was appearing. So I'll probably start summoning live in my backyard again in about 3 months. Hopefully when I have 1,000 subscribers and I'm getting hopefully 1 million views a day, really reaching a bigger target audience. See, my theory is, the more energy we build up, is the more God will show apparitions. So I just need to get my channel built up first. So it's hard. It seems like it takes so long, because I've done so many things. I passed out flyers, and very few people subscribed, and very few see the videos every day. And I passed out so many flyers. I must have passed out around 500 flyers here, and it did nothing. So not only did I waste $20 in ink and paper and all, I spent my hard-earned time. I spent like 2-3 days straight. I got tired walking around passing out flyers, and it did nothing, and I got very disappointed, man. And I'm like, God, why do people ignore me so much? And I feel ignored from God sometimes a lot when I ask for signs and it doesn't appear. But I need to stay humble, man, and I can't take my anger out at God. And we all shouldn't take our anger out at God, even though we get very angry sometimes. We're not perfect. We all have, our natural emotions, and we get frustrated when we feel God's ignoring us. So that EVP that I got 3 days ago, it really comforted me, because it said, "We have not left you, we are still around." And that made me feel like, that's angels talking to me here. So it let me know that, God's not ignoring me, even though it seems like it, ignoring me for no reason here. So when I got that EVP, it really comforted me, man. So it sucks when I say I'm calling down apparitions and nothing is appearing. Yeah, though it's appearing on playback, little specks, People say it's transmission error. It's the transmission glitches. So I can't argue with them. And if they want to say, It's transmission glitches from here to kingdom come, man. It'd be like, whatever, if you say so, you know. That's your opinion, man. It's not easy. So the show seems very different, very messed up today. It's not live. I wanted it to be live. So now I'm still broadcasting at 8, but which means it's going to take 10-30 minutes uploading. So it'll be up at 9:30. By then, it's already 9:30 here in El Paso, Mountain Standard Time, Central America. So 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. It's already 11:30 over there in the East Coast by New York, Florida. 11:30, man. No one's gonna be up at that time watching, and it really gets to me, you know, because yeah, I could do the show earlier, but I really can't because I'm always working all the time. You know, we're all slaves to the mean green dollar. We all have to keep, you know, every hour working and working and working, man. It's like we never have time for anything. I barely have time to run the show. So it sucks that now, yeah, even though I'm broadcasting at 8, which is 8:10 right now, it's really not going up live. And you know, it was like 8, 9, 10. It was 10 o'clock there in the East Coast still. So I was saying, okay, we have one more hour before they get ready to go to sleep and stuff. So a lot of people wake up early in the mornings and stuff, and they go to bed early, you know. So it really throws a whole monkey wrench into the whole thing, you know. I wanted to have it, I wanted to have, the camera's not centered straight. Let's see here. I really wanted to have the show, let's see here. I really wanted to have the show, like, even though it's not live, I mean, that don't get to me as much. What gets to me is, now I'm having to upload at 9:30, and it's way too late, 11:30 on the East Coast, and it threw a whole monkey wrench into the whole thing, you know? Because when it was live at 8, people were still watching at 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Now it's even later, man, so, it's just aggravating. So now I gotta wait 3 months, so hopefully I get live streaming back up. It's not a guarantee, but I hope so, you know? This was the only time I talked about a controversial topic. I didn't know that, you know, they go through heaven and hell just to, remove our live streaming. They should have gave me a warning. This was only the first time. I don't know why they like this, you know, but I'll abide to YouTube's rules, and I guarantee not to talk about controversial topics anymore. But it makes me wonder, is everything a controversial topic? The way I see it is, as long as we don't mention people's names, we're in the clear, you know? We need to watch out about not revealing anyone's names or details, because that's when they want to start telling us that all this is cyberbullying, that it's threatening them and stuff like that. So it's really complicated, you know? So what bugs me, not as much as not being able to live stream, yeah, that kind of gets me, but what bugs me even more is I'm having to upload over there to the East Coast at 11:30 at night. That's what really gets to me. I mean, yes, of course, I want live streaming back so I can show my viewers that these apparitions coming aren't hoax, they're not fake. You're seeing it in real time. Now that it's not live, people are going to be saying, oh, it's pre-recorded. He's hoaxing all these UFOs. That's why I'm even taking a break from live summoning in my backyard. Not just because I summoned for a whole week straight, 7 days, nothing appeared, that also. But I don't have the energy built up yet to where there's thousands of people all watching at the same time. You know, it seems, what's the magic number that God will start showing signs, the apparitions for people? Is it 20 people watching at the same time? I think maybe God sees this too few. 50 is too few. What, 100? 500, 1,000? It says where there are 2 or more, God is there. So if there's 2 people watching, apparitions aren't going to appear. You know, and it really gets to me, man, because it seems like I need to have millions and millions of people all watching the show live just for God to show an apparition. Like, again, I'm not talking against God. I'm not putting him down or anything. I'm just feeling kind of frustrated, man. We all have these natural emotions, but I don't take my anger at God, even though I get very angry. You know, so it just really messed everything up. It did, man, because now the East Coast is going to be seeing these videos every day at 11:30. It's way too late. They're already asleep at that time. And I can't do the show earlier because I gotta work, man. We're all slaves to the dollar. I can't even take a day off, man. I work in sales. I'm an ice cream truck driver, man, and it pays good money. But you gotta work every hour at it. You can't take time off, man, because it's hard to make money because you need to be at it every hour. You know, from 10 o'clock in the morning all the way to when it gets dark. You know, it gets dark here at 6. Now it's starting to get dark at 6:30 till 7. When they change the time, it's gonna get dark later. But still, in the summer, I don't know how I'm gonna have time to fit the show in. Because in the summer, I'll be getting out of work like at, 8:39? And then it's already 10. It's already 12. When I get back at 10, it's already 12 over there in the morning in the East Coast. And it just messes everything up. And I really hate it. It makes me very angry, man. And I really control my anger as best as possible. I used to be very, very angry back then. Yelling, cussing. But now that I've grown more, I really try to be calm more. Not just to be more wise with the situations, but my health, you know. I have an ulcer, and the more I yell and scream, the worse it gets. So I keep taking medicine, you know, and these proton pump inhibitors, it messes your body up. Though it stops the heartburn sometimes, it doesn't fix the problem, it just masks it. These proton pump inhibitors. And, you know, it messes up your body so much. It messes up your natural rhythm on how your body works. And before you know it, man, if you take it every day non-stop, it just throws your body, it messes your body up is what I'm saying. It makes you cough more, you get bloated all the time more. I'm telling you, man, I hate it. So I'm always having to switch the medicine on and off. Zantac, Nexium, all that stuff for heartburn, man. It's like, and it scares me because it keeps getting tighter in my chest, the pressure, and I feel like, my God, I hope it don't cause a heart attack one of these days, you know. I hope I don't die of esophageal cancer here, you know. They call it Barrett's syndrome and all this other stuff, man, you know. And, you know, it seems I'm not getting healed here, you know, so it's very depressing. So I hate that the show isn't live. I'm having to record this through QuickTime Player under Start New Movie recording. So this is considered a movie. Oh man, you know, and I hate how it's not live. I'm starting to take time off from the live summoning apparitions in the backyard, because 7 days straight, nothing appearing, man. It's like, okay, I need to build a momentum of like millions of viewers all watching at the same time for something to appear. I don't know what that magic number is that God will show apparitions, man. But at 0 people watching, it certainly is not appearing. So I'm hoping more signs happen in the news. I'm hoping more apparitions appear in El Paso. Even when I'm not broadcasting live. I mean, well, it's not live anymore. Hopefully in 3 months I can get live going back up. So the topic of the day will be, I'll be talking about, I uploaded all my new music into my other YouTube channel, The Utopian Kingdom. So I'll be talking about that today. And now I'll go ahead and get into the news. You know, everything feels like it's all messed up. Everything's different. And I hope people can still stay up till 11 o'clock, because I'm doing the show at 8. It's not going up until 9:15, 9:30. By then it's already 9:30, 10:30, 11. It's already 11:30 in the East Coast, and they still watch now. It's 12:30. They're going to bed at 12:30, man. And hopefully everyone in the East Coast, if you could watch the video, you could watch it part in the day, part before you go to sleep, and the other half in the daytime the next day. So it's very hard to get that momentum going, you know. I mean, yeah, the West Coast is always an hour behind from us. So when I have it going at 9:30, it'll be 8:30 in the West Coast, and you know, they always have it better. They always have more time. The East Coast is always running late for everything. They're always 2 hours ahead of us. West Coast is only 1 hour behind us, you know. So it's very depressing. You know, Monkey Wrench was thrown into this big time. And I thought about I could start another channel and I can have that going live maybe. I don't know though, maybe all my other channels the live function is disabled. I haven't checked yet. But even if it is not disabled and I can start a new channel, then I think I have to upload all the videos again, and it's already like, what, almost 40, and that would take so long, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And hopefully I get it back going in 3 months, man. If not, I'm going to plead to YouTube. I don't know who I got to talk to try to help me with this, you know, but I really, really am hoping, man, my live streaming can come back. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do, seriously, man. I want to find some way to get my live streaming back up. Because one, I was not warned that I would be persecuted like this, having my live streaming cut down just because of this topic. They should have sent messages to us, not to mention these certain type of actors, and not to mention give us all the topics we can't talk about, man. I mean, I feel they should have warned us here. They didn't, man. So I feel kind of disappointed, you know. I feel it's not right, man. People are getting banned for stupid reasons, and I hope YouTube can bring back their channels. If I can champion for the people who have been, you know, unfairly treated by certain people on YouTube. It's very few people. I hope more people working in YouTube can really help us out here. It is hard starting a channel. You know, it's hard bringing in the viewers, the subscribers, because we can't go subscriber to subscriber sending them personal messages saying, hey, can you do a sub for sub, subscriber for subscriber? You know, because if we did have so many people, they're going to say that's spamming, they're going to ban us. You know, so there's no other way to do it, you know. And, you know, passing out flyers don't do anything. And then pouring so much money into Google AdWords, that still don't bring us subscribers, you know? So we're pouring so much money into YouTube and we're not getting anything back, man. And I just hope people who are working at YouTube can help us out here. It's very hard for us upcoming YouTubers. Okay, so now we go again into the news. The first one is thousands of dead fish wash ashore in Argentina. Now these are a whole bunch. Thousands. These aren't a few amount. Look, every time I do that, it turns my skin all red, and why does it do that, man? I need to adjust the camera, move it up like this, and do all this stupid stuff, and God, man. So many things get to me, I'm telling you. They're saying it could be, you know, pollution. So, I mean, this stuff happens all the time, though. How can this be signs if they're happening every single day, man? Okay, next story. Half the DNA of the New York City subway matches no known organism. I don't know about that. This story seems sensationalized. Next story. Here's how new discovery is. I hated one of those. Here's how new discovery is changing everything we thought we knew about the death of 22 million Aztecs. Well, they died in wars, right? The Spaniards. How can that many people die in a war, though? The theory is they're building these pyramids and they're getting too immoral and sacrificing people to the gods and this and that, and they're getting too immoral and maybe they got taken down like the Tower of Babel. Okay, next story. I'm telling you, this show seems so different. It's messed up. One, it's not live. Two, it's being uploaded so late in the East Coast. You know, and it's just not the same. A biohacker regrets publicly injecting himself with CRISPR. Now this is what changes the DNA to hybrid. So he was trying to hybrid himself with CRISPR, but supposedly it didn't kill him. It just made him very sick, and he transplanted entire microbioms into his body. He was selling a kit to make glow-in-the-dark beer. Let's see what else. So he was live streaming it. So let's see here. It's not saying what it really did. It didn't kill him. It just, they're not saying how it made him sick. See, I hate this. This laptop goes in the screensaver. I need to fix that screensaver. My God, man. Okay, 20 minutes in the show. Let's see here. So it's not really saying how he got sick. I hate it when these news articles, man, there's so many words to read. They just don't get to the point. God. So it's not really saying how he got sick. It's so many words and nothing there. Okay, I'll save this story for last. Remembering the Billy Graham. Yeah, I'll say that one for last also. It's something very interesting I'm about to say on that right now. UN unanimously demands a 30-day ceasefire across Syria. Yeah, like the terrorists are gonna listen to that. What a joke. Okay, next story. U.S. Embassy attacked in Montenegro. Now, where's Montenegro? Bomber identified. They need to make these buildings more bomb-proof, man. I know it sounds hard to do, but it could be done. Stop them from getting inside the buildings, man. Metal detectors. They need safe-proof rooms they go in, get screened first before they actually go into the main lobby. I'm telling you, this world is so stupid, and I hope Jesus returns to just fix it all and bring us to perfection. Because this world is very stupid right about now. And it only gets stupider. Let's see here. So the terrorist was 43 years old. His name was... Oh, I can't say his name, right? I can't even say the name of a terrorist, or I may get banned from YouTube. So, I mean, I cannot mention any controversial topics anymore. So the certain type of actors I can't talk about. I mean, what next? Remember the whole thing about that gate thing? Remember, and pizza? You know, you can't talk about that anymore. You know, you talk about that, you know. People were getting banned for talking about that also. And it really seems to sense it's attacking us of our freedom of speech, man. We're not threatening anyone, you know, and we're not claiming it's fact. We have a right to talk about it. As long as we don't threaten anyone, and not even mention any names. But we can call for protests of certain people. It's not wrong to do that. It is our God-given right to protest. Just like it is our God-given right to have our freedom of speech. So I hope YouTube can allow these topics, as long as we're doing it right. So, this one's not really saying anything else. I mean, how crazy is this world getting if we can't even talk about a terrorist name on YouTube? And we get our channel banned. So political correctness is getting way too stupid, way too out of hand. So he was from Serbia. But can I not mention that? Can I not mention the terrorists from Serbia? You know, the time's coming where we won't be able to talk about anything. We should still be allowed to talk about chemtrails. It is not a terroristic talk against the government. We should still be talking, have our right to talk about Jade Helm, and the military is planning to use these abandoned Walmarts for storage and maybe to throw illegal immigrants in. We should not have our channels banned just for talking about this, and we should not be censored for talking about human cloning for eternal life, exposing Raul, letting everyone know the signs of times we're in so that they can repent because Jesus is returning. This is what Jesus and God wants us to talk about. And if YouTube sees that that is wrong for us to talk about, then, you know, there's something very disturbing with that. Because before you know it, every single topic will be banned. You know? And how stupid is it going to get when every single topic is banned? You know? And people laugh at it, but the time is coming where we can't even talk about Jesus Christ anymore. They're already doing it with the removing Jesus and the religion from the schools, from government, just because some old people from the archaic days of the founding fathers said that removal of the church and state. You know, they were Freemasons, and they always wanted God out of everything since the beginning. They were not doing it to make peace with atheists and Christians. They were doing it because they were satanic worshippers. And, you know, we have the right to talk about that the founding fathers could have been Freemasons, Illuminati, and we shouldn't be have our channels banned and persecuted just because we're talking about these topics, man. Jesus Christ and God, they want us to talk about these topics, you know. So I believe we should still be able to talk about these certain type of actors, as long as we don't mention any names here, you know. Because what if that is really going on? What if it's true and the government is trying to silence that? So, you know, it's really messed up, man. When the government, man, there's bad forces in everything, and there are bad people in the government. There's nothing, no organization that is 100% perfect. There are bad people in every organization. So we need to exclude the bad people, man. Kick out the bad people. And leave the good people in, man. Next article, U.S. turns up the heat with heaviest sanctions ever against North Korea. Okay, nothing new there. Let's see. I'm serious, man. The time is coming. We can't even talk about any topic anymore on YouTube. Everything is being silenced. They are shutting us up so much. They are violating our right to freedom of speech. They are persecuting us. Jesus Christ was right. He said they will persecute you in the end times. And it is coming. It is here now. When we are being persecuted from not talking about certain topics that is our God-given right to talk about. Now, I agree, if we start mentioning people's names, that may be too much. But we should still at least be able to talk, you know? But as soon as we show a picture of something, they say, oh, that's cyberbullying, that's threatening to kill someone. It's getting so crazy, man, I'm telling you. We can't talk about chemtrails, man. All our videos of chemtrails are going to be removed, and we're all going to be banned from YouTube if we mention chemtrails. So we can't talk about chemtrails anymore. It is getting very, very absurd and stupid, I'm telling you, man. At what point is the insanity going to stop? At what point is the persecution of our freedom of speech going to be stopped? Who do we have to talk to the Supreme Court on this to have our voices heard, man? Next article, Peña Nieto calls off visit to White House after confrontational call with Trump. So supposedly, now they're not saying why he called off the meeting. Because it's all about the wall again. The wall, the wall, the wall. I can't mention the wall on YouTube because I could get banned. Next story here. A single dad walked 11 miles to work every day until his coworkers found out. Man, imagine walking 11 miles to work every day. He had to get ready to his 4 a.m. shift. So that means he had to get up at 3, walking a whole hour to get there every day. Now that is graveyard shift. Man. I'm not saying what job he worked in. He was a UPS facility worker. So when they found out, they pitched in and raised money to buy him a car. His feet would get so bad, he'd get blisters on his feet. Man, it's sad, you know. People go through a lot, man. We have to count our blessings. And I thank the people on YouTube for keeping my channel going, not banning my channel. You know, I'm abiding to all rules here, and I promise not to talk about controversial topics anymore. So even if the talk of chemtrails gets so big, I can't mention that anymore. We can't mention crisis actors, we can't mention Pizzagate, we can't mention chemtrails. Can we still mention Monsanto, what they're doing, hybriding our fruit, creating monster food and fruit? Can we still talk about this? I don't know, man. Can we still talk about how the founding fathers could have been Freemasons, Illuminati, maybe not, because the government will come and kill us all. Let's see here. I mean, what else? You know, what else can we have our channels banned from talking? I wish YouTube would give us, every time we log in, I wish they would give us topics we cannot talk about, because how are we supposed to know what we can and cannot talk about? You know, I hope the talk of human cloning never gets banned, because we have our obligation from Christ to reveal to people what is going on, to let them know of the times we are in. So they want to censor human cloning also. What next, man? I mean, we can't talk about terrorists anymore. We can't talk about bioterrorism and what they're planning on. I mean, what is this world become? Well, it's becoming so politically correct where we can't even say a single word about a whole bunch of topics anymore. You know? But yet, Alex Jones could be saying this stuff every single day because he has his website, and, you know, and it's like all like the norm every day, you know, and how they never talk about all these topics on the news. They try to keep it all hush-hush, sweep it under the rug. No longer, man. No longer is it going to happen, because they can still be bringing these certain type of actors out in events, and even though if they're not known to people, you know, it can still be happening. So it's getting very complicated, and we are just trying to search for the truth here, and we should not be banned for getting to the root of the situation, for trying to find the truth here. You know, if we're not threatening anyone, and we need to not even mention any people's names anymore, and if we're saying it is just theory, then we should be able to talk about certain things. But YouTube is, I guess, they're fearing backlash about from all the people, and they're afraid of all the the advertisers pulling from their channels and this and that. So they want to have everything cleaner than clean of clean of clean of clean, where we can't even talk about anything at all. And I don't think that's right. We should be allowed to talk about things if we are doing it right. You know, it's one thing to do it right. It's a whole other thing to keep doing it wrong. And if we're doing it right, it should be allowed, man. So we are really being persecuted of our freedom of speech. And as a blogger, it really gets to me. I'm very passionate about having our voice heard. And when we are being stomped on and squashed like bugs, it is not right. It is not right at all. We should be able to have a freedom of speech and not to be censored in all these topics. Before you know it, we won't be able to be allowed to talk about anything anymore. So what will it just be? Oh, hi, today is this, the weather is this, and that's it, bye. No, man, we should be able to speak, to use our voice, and not be silenced, and not be censored. Next article, stolen work by famous painter Degas found in a bus. You know, I wish there'd be more news of Prophecy here. This is a lot of, it seems like filler. It's, you know, stupid articles, you know. I mean, who really cares about a painting found and stolen in a bus? I mean, come on, man. This is all I have here, you know, just to fill up the time for the show. And I have stupid news articles like this because we can't talk about anything controversial anymore. You know, there needs to be a meeting of the minds with us YouTubers and YouTube. We should be allowed to talk about certain articles if we don't mention people's names, if we don't threaten anyone, and we don't claim it's fact, that it's just theory. Then I feel it is done right, and we should be able to talk about these topics. You know, it is such a power grab where they're trying to censor all our voices. And if Jesus was here today, he would say, let the people speak. Let the people speak. It is our God-given right for us to speak up, to speak out on things, and not be squashed like a bug and thrown to the corner. That is not right. We should not be silenced and censored like this. Okay, let me see here. Something just happened with my phone. I don't know what is going on here. My phone is messing up here, man. Oh my God, what is this? I don't know how to... Something's going wrong here. I just lost all my articles because it went into this other mode here, man. God. Getting on my nerves. There it is. I'm telling you, man. It's on my nerves. That's what I'm telling you. The whole show is different. The whole thing's messed up now, man. Snapchat stock loses 1.3 billion after Kylie Jenner tweet. See, is this more proof of censorship? Kylie Jenner's not happy about Snapchat's new redesign. They calling it Snap now. Snap closed stock down under 6% on Thursday after the reality TV star said she is no longer using the app. The plunge wiped out about $1.3 billion out the company's market value. And now they're planning to sue Kylie Jenner just for saying that she's not going to use it anymore. See, this is wrong here, man. This is more proof of censorship, man. They are persecuting us. Lord Jesus, Lord God, I hope and pray you can see how these social media companies are censoring us, and it is wrong. They are persecuting us, Lord. We cannot say anything anymore. Everything is becoming too stupidly political correct, where they are persecuting us. They are purging us just because we are not saying anything bad. This is proof, more proof right here. So I think, yes, Snapchat is wrongfully going after Kylie Jenner. Now they want to sue her. They're not saying a price on how much, but just because she said that, I mean, my God, man. This world is getting very stupid. And you saw how they went after Logan Paul so much. He did everything right. He called the cops. He blurred out the person's face. He was talking against suicide. And you saw how they persecuted him so much. Is what's starting to happen to all of us as well. Now we can't even talk about topics. Now they are threatening to ban a lot of our channels just because we are talking on topics. Now I agree with YouTube on this. We should not mention people's names because that can make people go and stalk them to harass them and attack them. So we should not reveal any names, not even show pictures. But we should still be allowed to be talking about these topics, but we should not show pictures and reveal names of the people. And we should not threaten anyone, and we should not claim it as facts. We should still say it may be theory. So, I hope and pray YouTube, before every time we log in, I hope and pray YouTube can give us message alerts that we are forced to see so we don't close it on accident. So we know what is going on, and where we are allowed to have our freedom of speech if it's all done right. I'm telling you, it all must be done right, you know. But they're sweeping us all under this. Actually, they're throwing us all into this one main group here, and they're calling us all bad for talking about this. When they're not seeing the root of the problem here, it's to talk about it but do it right. That's the whole root of the problem here. Not talking about topics, but how you talk about it. It's how you talk about it that must be deemed wrong. So it's like this. We can't even say, I mean, it's getting so stupid here, man. I mean, what next? Are we going to get sued just because we say that this company or this person's doing something wrong? We're going to get sued and threatened, and, you know, it's getting so stupid. What's this world come to when we can't even talk anymore? They might as well duct tape all our mouths, tie us all in ropes and throw us in corners while they're at it, man. Because, you know, I mean, they may come into banning the internet soon. Before you know it, the internet's going to be banned. And you can't even hop on a website anymore. That's what it's coming to, man. This whole nanny state. The whole nanny state where they control everything and treat us all like babies. This is what's wrong with the world, man. This is what's wrong with America. They are persecuting us, man. And there's more proof right here. Now, Snapchat is wanting to sue Kylie Jenner just because she said she's not happy about Snapchat's new redesign. Now, I mean, a lot of people may not like things for many reasons. That doesn't mean that they need to be sued just because they're saying something. It's getting so stupid, man. And these companies, they just want to pull money out of here. Oh, that person has money. Let's pull money out of them. You know, it's getting so stupid, man. What's this world come to, man? It's making me very, very angry. On how we are really being persecuted really bad here. We're being persecuted really bad, man. We're having all these social media companies threatening to ban all our channels just because we say certain things. It is not right at all. So I hope and pray, people working at YouTube, if you can help YouTube change for the better from within. Allow more freedom of speech. Allow us to talk about things if we do it right. That's what it's all about here, doing it right. I mean, of course, everyone's going to want to say the names of people and these conspiracies. They're going to want to show the pictures of the people. And that's when YouTube will always come back and say, oh, it's cyberbullying, it's causing threat to killing people and this and that. And then they're afraid of their advertisers pulling out, so they want to just shut up all our voices. And it's not right. There needs to be, you know, a meeting here where it's... we all have a level playing field. A meeting of the minds, if you will. There needs to be, you know, where not just YouTube, but all social media sites let us say what we need to say if we do it right. Now, like I said, I know it's hard because everyone's going to want to be talking people's names and showing pictures. And how are we going to ever get a fix on this situation? It's a very big mess, man. It's a very big mess, and I don't know how we're ever going to have it be done right. I don't know, maybe filters, stuff that removes people's words, but then again, it's hard because in videos you can't have a filter that does that, so I don't know, man. It's really getting bad. It really is. Actress Ava DuVernay hopes A Wrinkle in Time is a source of light in a time of darkness and division. I like this movie because the trailer looks like it's like about the Rapture, so that's what it is, man. You know, Jesus' return is a wrinkle in time, man. This world got destroyed, so God's going to bring us to perfection. Amen. Hallelujah. Next article. Let's see here. So it's very scary, man. You know, Logan Paul made a movie before all this happened when he was persecuted. He made a movie called, I forgot what it was like, but it was like the Purge. You know, the Purge was about anarchy. This movie was like where they were all persecuting him, you know, and it's weird how it happened before what happened. So forgot what the movie was called, but it was a very good movie because it's what's happening now. Delta United joined list of companies to cut ties with the NRA. Before I talk about these two main topics and the topic of the day, I'll just finish up talking here about our censorship. About how we are being censored of our freedom of speech. We should be allowed to talk about things but done right. Now, how do you have it where it's done right? I know it's very hard. I don't know how to do it. I can't think of a solution. But then again, silencing everyone is not the solution as well. Okay, now I'll end the news articles with these two main topics here. Now, let's see here. Remembering the Billy Graham crusades that led people to Jesus. Okay, so speaking on Billy Graham, Pastor Paul Begley said he saw a dream around 20 years ago. I think it was a year or two after 9/11, and he said he saw 7 preachers in the basement that were preaching, and they were preaching to a laptop, but like to billions and billions of people all watching at the same time. And there were 7 of them preaching, and Paul Begley said he was looking outside into a window in the basement, and one by one each preacher was like falling over and they would pass away. They didn't like tumble flat on their face, but you know, they kind of slowly get down and then just lay down and they go to sleep. The last person to do that was Billy Graham. There was Oral Roberts, a couple of other people, and Pope John Paul II. So the last one to to fall, and by fall I don't mean flat on his face. I mean like he get down gently and then lay down. And the last person to do that was Billy Graham. So and then Paul Bagley, you can find his channel on YouTube. After that, he heard a loud voice in the sky, a deep, strong tone, and it said, "Behold, the rapture is coming now." So Paul Bagley is saying this is very exciting stuff. So he's saying this could announce the return of Jesus Christ. Now, this other preacher named Stephen Ben-Danoon, in 2013, May 19th, he had a dream that sounds similar to this one. He said he saw someone walking up to him on the street in the daytime, and that he was talking to him, and he was telling him, "Did you hear that Billy Graham had passed away?" And this was in 2013 in a dream. And Stephen Ben-Danoon said, "No, I haven't heard." And the person talking to him, he told him, "Yeah, he passed away, and now the rapture is coming." And so that's all he said he saw in the dream. So when he woke up, he was like, "Whoa." And what's interesting is this dream relates to what Paul Bagley's dream had. I have never had a dream like this. I hope I can see dreams that tell me what month Jesus is returning. So these two dreams are very connected, you know. And on that same day when Stephen Ben-Danoon had that dream, Paul Bagley was in the Middle East, in Israel, and he had a dream of Russian planes and Syria, and they were going in and attacking Israel, and with North Korea as well. So Paul Bagley saw that dream on the same day, and it's matching up. It's coming to pass. The forces are really gathering against Israel. It's happening with Syria. It's a big part to play. And I'll go ahead and end it with this last article. New U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem will open in May 2018 to celebrate Israel's 70th anniversary. Now this is exciting because remember in the book of Daniel and Revelation also, it talks about the temple. A whole lot of symbolism with the temple. The temple and the certain days are allotted in the temple. So this could be signs right here. I'm not saying Trump is the Antichrist. I really believe he's a good person. Maybe the Antichrist is going to come up from somewhere. And it could be Putin. It could be Kim Jong-un in North Korea. And disclaimer to YouTube, we should not have our videos removed or be banned from YouTube because we are talking about dictators. You know? Putin is not a nice guy. He invaded Ukraine. He did war crimes. He stole the land of Crimea from Ukraine. That is why God sent a meteor towards Russia to wake not just the people up of Russia, but to send a stern warning to Putin that he better repent. Because when Jesus returns, if he doesn't repent, his soul is going to be doomed to eternal damnation. So he could be the Antichrist. And God could have revealed it with the meteor that hit Russia. I think God revealed it to the world that Putin could be the Antichrist. So there's nothing wrong with talking against a dictator. That goes for Kim Jong-un also. He's the one that started this warmongering and war threats on America. You know, it was only right for our country to have released that movie, The Interview, where they go and take Kim Jong-un out. They try to do it diplomatically, but if he's going to fight back, then we have to defend ourselves. So there's nothing wrong in talking against dictators. It is the same as us saying we hated Hitler at the time. We hated Bin Laden at the time. They are in that same group of vile, disgusting scum. So we should have the right to talk against them. You know, we should have the right to talk against terrorists. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if it comes up to talking about, like what happened with Pizzagate, a lot of people were threatening the person of that, but I was calling for protesting against him. So I agree, we should not mention people's names, but it's hard because everyone wants to bring up the names. Everyone wants to show the pictures on who the person is and this and that. And it's a whole can of worms, man, because they say, oh, they need their freedom of safety and security and their definition, their defamation of fame, that they're destroying their character and this and that. And, you know, they try to go talking to all their richest lawyers and they try to attack our freedom of speech and persecute us and take away our rights, you know, just because this person paid a rich lawyer. It's getting very crazy, man. So we should be able to talk about topics. But I hope YouTube can give more disclaimers every time we log in to our channels to have topics not talked about if they want to remove all topics. And to also say, okay, we could be allowed to talk about topics. We don't reveal names, we don't threaten anyone, and we don't claim it's 100% fact. So I hope YouTube does this. There needs a whole entire reformation process, and shutting us all up is not the solution. Fixing the problem is, and how you fix it is, let us talk about things, but tell the YouTubers to do it in a wiser way. So that is all I hope and pray of YouTube. Like I said, I'll go ahead and end it here. I'll go ahead and mute the music. Like I say, this is a message to all the employees at YouTube. I love you all. YouTube is awesome because it gives us hope of the dream that we can make money with YouTube. You know, we see us as we are entrepreneurs, and YouTube is that hope in the dream where we can make a lot of money with YouTube. And I thank you all out there for this platform. And I hope and pray you don't ban our channels if we don't do anything wrong. I hope and pray you can bring back channels that have been banned if they didn't do anything too wrong. So, is my second plea to YouTube is if you could just help us more, because it's hard starting a YouTube channel. You know, we pass out flyers, 500 flyers, and it does nothing. We're willing to invest in Google AdWords, so we're hoping you can help us in return. You know, we are like fighting for the scraps on the top of the table of YouTube, and we're hoping YouTube can help us out and provide more food to us. This food is resources, and helping us out more to making it, becoming successful with YouTube. And I feel Logan Paul was wrongly not just discriminated, persecuted, like what's happening to a lot of us as well. So I know it's hard to bring back Logan's Paul monetization of his videos because YouTube doesn't want to face a backlash of all their advertisers pulling out and all the people on YouTube coming after them. All the critics, if you will, the people who hate Logan Paul, they don't want to face backlash, so they just want to have his monetization, you know, banned. They cut his money in half. So, you know, there's still people that argue that his channel should have been banned when, of course, you know, he should have never been persecuted. He did all the right things. You know, and the way he's being persecuted is how we're all being persecuted now by not being able to talk about certain topics. So I'll end it here with a couple of EVPs, and also the talk of the day is, yes, I have my new music uploaded at youtube.com/ The Utopian Kingdom is what I believe it's called. If not, I'll double check it tomorrow and I'll give the exact link. So that's basically, you know, a short topic of the day, which is my new music is up. And now we'll go ahead and do a couple of EVPs here, electronic voice phenomenon. So I thank you all at YouTube. Thank you for providing this platform. We have such great hopes and dreams. We can make good money with YouTube. We want to be your top YouTubers, amen? We want to be your ones you are proud of, that we're going to bring in more money to you at YouTube. You know? I mean, if we win, you win, we all win. So I'm praying to the people at YouTube that if you could just help us out here. If you could please have us talk about certain topics if it's done right. I know it's hard because everyone's going to want to reveal names and show pictures. And you reveal the names of certain people, and even though it's not threatening anyone, they still classify that. I'm not talking about YouTube, but everyone in general classifies revealing names as still threatening. So I mean, it's hard because silencing us on all these topics isn't the solution either. It's a whole can of worms. What's the best way to do it? I don't know. But silencing us all is not the answer. Allowing us to talk about it done right sounds like the answer. I know it's hard because a lot of people are going to want to do their own things. But if you could go after the people that do the wrong things and really don't ban the people that are not doing anything wrong. Just go after the ones that are doing the wrong things. So if we could talk about topics, but now we have to not mention names. So it's very hard because everyone's going to want to do the opposite. But there will be a lot of good people like me. So now we'll go ahead and do a couple of EVPs here. Just seems very unfair, you know? Okay, I have the words on this phone. Let's see here, it says... what? It says... Enlist and deal with forceful and persuasive topics, maybe. It tall or something like that. So I threw in the word topics just to fill the sentence. So it's basically saying enlist in something forceful, persuasive, that is strong and tall. So it basically is telling me to talk about more controversial topics, but I can't, man. I hope YouTube could let us talk about these topics. If done right, man. We don't mention people's names. It's not threatening, you know. We're just trying to find, you know, for all we know, these topics could be real, and the people do need to know what's going on. So how can it be done right? That is all I ask of YouTube. Okay, this phone says, you'll need to confront a tricky individual, Raul. I don't know who Raul is, but it's saying that I'm going to be confronting a tricky person soon. Okay, Raul. It sounds like Raul. That's weird because that was the name of my uncle and my grandfather, Raul. So, Raul, I mean, that's weird. Let's see here. Now, on this phone, I forgot to say the last one. Well, the last one is Inwoven, rout, weak, foxed. I don't know what that means. Let's see. This one here says ninth circle. I hate it when I only get one EVP word here. I really hate that. Okay, we'll go ahead and do one more and we'll call it a day. Thank you, YouTube, for not banning my channel. I did not know that topic was controversial. So now I know we can't mention persons' names or show their pictures, because that is they classify that as cyberbullying and threatening to the people there. So I promise I will abide to YouTube's rules, and I will not talk about controversial topics anymore. The way I see it is just don't reveal persons' names or show their pictures, and it's all good. But man, we can't even mention a topic, a certain. We can't even talk about certain topics, man. Well, I hope and pray YouTube could tell us what's off the list, what we can't talk about, because how are we to know? How are we to know? Okay, on this one we have the words. It says, let's see here. Focus on your artistic ability by an absorbed theater entangled. Focus on your ability by an artistic entangled theater. So it just means, I guess, keep talking about, stuff happening. And maybe keep talking about, us being censored from certain topics. Because this should be allowed if we're doing it right. I think that's what it is. See, the EVPs are even talking about what I was talking about here. That shows it's real. And the last one is Incensed, Brink, Porterhouse, Hooked. So I don't know what to make of that. Somebody being hooked by a porterhouse on the brink of war, maybe? Incensed? I don't know what to make of that. So, it sucks. It's 9 here. It's going to be uploaded at 9:30. It's already going to be 11:30 in the East Coast. Do a whole monkey wrench in the whole thing, and the show has been really damaged. People on the East Coast are seeing this so late at night now. They're never going to be tuning in because I never have time to broadcast a show until it's late at night. So hopefully within 3 months I can have the live streaming back up. If not, I don't know what's going to happen, man, because I want to have this live streaming going. And I'm going to lose my mind if I can't get live stream going. Because I want to have thousands and thousands of people all watching live and me summoning apparitions in El Paso and the apparitions appearing and Jesus returning, man. Oh my God, it's so stressful. So we'll go ahead and end it there. God bless. Good night.